Hey everybody, this is Steve and Shatanice. We're coming at you from Reese Inc. And with the holidays approaches, we thought it would be beneficial to talk to you about money and budgeting. So we have 3 tips that we want to walk through for you. And so the first tip is, what is a budget? Mr. Reese, what exactly is a budget?
So in my mind, what a budget is, and these are my own words, you're not going to find this in the dictionary, so this is a nugget for you. A budget is a guideline or either a navigator to help you tell your money where to go. We should be able to tell our money where it needs to go and not the other way around. So that's what a budget is. You're just telling your money where you're going. So all of your bills, your fund, every single thing that you want to do within that month or that 2-week period of time, or even a week period of time, if you want to make a weekly budget, you have to tell your money where it's going. So at the end of the budget, or the end of the week, or the end of the month, you're not asking, where is my money? You know where your money is because you told it where to go.
And should we be strict with the budget? Is it just a straight line?
It depends on who you're asking. I'm the CFO in this household when it comes down to the money because I'm the stay-at-home parent, so I deal with all the finances. I like to be flexible, and when I say flexible, I'm not meaning hundreds of dollars flexible. But you know, if you want a coffee here or there and it's not in the budget, go get your coffee. That's not going to get a brand new TV because you just want to get another TV. It's not going out to buy a car. It's not going out to buy outfits. You got to budget. If you set a schedule and you know that you have something going on that month, make a budget. Make it for that. But I understand that sometimes you have incidents that occur unexpectedly, and that's when you have to be flexible.
So for small allowances,
right?
Not like
right. And you know what your how much money you want to be flexible with.
So now that we've defined what a budget is, we want to help you make a budget. So where do we start?
I always start with tithing first. You take your money, and when you look at your money, depending on if you're a Christian or even not a Christian, we are Christians, so we look at it from a biblical state. And we state that everything that's given to us, number one, it's not my money. It's not. It's God's money. So we are extremely excited when it's time to tithe, because without that job, without the finances, we wouldn't be able to do anything. And God has graced us with the particular gifts that we have and the job. So when we receive our income, and we get paid once a month. And you know what? I kind of like that. At the beginning, I thought that was going to be hard, but when you have a budget, you don't have to worry about it because everything is planned out already for you. You just got to kind of stick to it.
So you take and look at everything that's coming in?
Everything that's coming in, everything that comes in, and then you have to look at everything that goes out. And the number one thing that's on our list every time that we do our budget is tithing. I don't know if you believe in tithing or not, but we believe in tithing, and it works. When you think about tithing, I think about just honoring God and giving back to Him just 10%. And He allows us to have the other 90% to do what we need to do comfortably. We have 6 kids, and it's the 2 of us, and we have worked with one income for years. When she was staying at home and I was making the money, we worked off of one budget. And people are amazed. Yeah, they're amazed at how do you guys do it. And you can do it. You have to understand what your needs and your wants are, but more importantly, that you know what, God has given us this money and He's going to make it work. So we give our 10%, and on top of the 10%, we may want to do something else for another charity. We give money to Sickle Cell. We give money to
Children's Healthcare
of Atlanta. And just that giving back, you know, it is always what the Bible says, it's better to give than to receive. And also you're planting seeds. And it works every time. We have not been in the red on one income. Our lights have never been turned off. Our mortgage have never been late. Our cars are paid for, and we just got another car because our daughter's getting ready to graduate. Our kids are well taken care of. So tithing works. You got to believe it, though. It works. So at the end of the month, if I'm looking like, man, I wish I had a couple of $100, tithing is not even on the table to look at where I could make some adjustments at. Not at all. So that's where we start at. And then, of course, your bigger lines, your mortgage, your rent, your car note. I mean, budget everything that has to go out. Your trash, your water, your groceries,
your cell phone.
And I think it's very important that you also put in there date nights. We just implemented in our budget starting next month that we're going to eat out in Atlanta once a month, and we're going to blog that. So that's coming to you real soon. We're going to take $50, 25 a piece, and we are going to eat out, and we're going to let you know what Atlanta tastes like. We're going to try some of everything, but you got to budget that stuff. You have to budget it.
You should also budget your maintenance, meaning haircut, going to get your hair done, also nails, if you get lashes or whatever the case may be, that should also be included in your budget.
And see, for me, that's the flexible type of things that, we're getting ready to go somewhere. We may have not budgeted for Shots needs to go get her eyebrows done. It's $10. Go get your eyebrows done. Not worried about it.
It's not going to necessarily break the budget.
Right.
So in terms of establishing a budget, you're looking at everything that comes in versus everything that goes out. You're also setting those goals, miniature goals, so that could be for short-term savings as well as long-term savings. We also encourage you to give towards your emergency fund.
Right.
So that way you're not having to borrow from others or from the bank or go without.
If need be, borrow from yourself.
Yes.
And we have done that plenty of times.
Yes.
I'm very excited if something happens just unexpectedly, that I can go to another account that we have money transferred to every single month automatically. I don't even see the money on my regular budget sheet because it comes out automatically. And I can go and say, I have the money over here. I don't have to worry about, calling someone or trying to figure out what am I going to do. I have other accounts where we can just go in and make a transfer and do it, and we pay that back when we can.
So we've talked about what the definition of a budget is. We've talked about setting a budget. Now it's time to go shopping. You got to stick to the budget.
Right.
So how do you resist? How have we resisted those temptations? We're in the store. We have our children with us. Hey, mommy, I want this. Or, man, I really think so-and-so would appreciate this. But it's not budgeted. It's not on our list. It's not, we didn't identify how much we were going to spend for this particular birthday or holiday. How do we resist those temptations?
I mean, you just have to. It is point blank, period. You just have to stick. That's why it's a budget. You have to, because if you don't, on a regular basis, you're going to find something else you can do. So you have to practice that need to control. I have to control myself. I'm going in here with $25. I'm going to spend $25. Now, as I said again, I am flexible. If it's a couple of bucks more, $5-10 more, and you can do it, it's not going to hurt you in the long run. You can do it. Go for it. But at least you have a foundation of, well, my foundation was $25, but this right here is $30. I'll do that because I know that this person would appreciate this particular type of gift.
Ideally, you want to get into the position where you're saving for, let's say, if you celebrate Christmas all year long.
Right.
We all know that Christmas happens in December 25th, and it doesn't change. So you should be able to put aside something in an envelope every month.
Absolutely.
So that way, when Christmas comes, it's not a big hit to your financial matters.
Your financial matters, and definitely the credit cards. We tried to steer away from credit cards, period, because of compound interest. A lot of us out there do not understand what compound interest is, let alone what interest is in itself. So I highly recommend that if you're using a credit card, pay it off as quickly as possible, cut it up. Have an emergency fund and use your emergency fund, because if you think about it, you lend me $1,500, but I end up paying $3,000. And that's because I'm using someone else's money.
Right.
And it will take you forever to pay it back. And so it's taking away from you able to go to trips, or able to do whatever the fun things that you want to do, because you have to pay someone else back because you borrowed their money because it was It could have been a want. Now, I understand that there are needs that sometimes you just got to do that. We just had to do that not too long ago. We got a Lowe's card. We had to get a washing machine and dryer. So we did that. We just didn't have the money that we needed to have to go and just spend for those particular items. We got it. And trust and believe, we made sure that we got the best deal that we could get. No interest for the first 6 months, I believe, and the credit card will be paid off in those 6 months.
So let's share what you've used in terms of resources.
Absolutely.
So number one, the first resource that we've used is the Bible.
Absolutely.
The Bible is great for offering tips on tithing and also sacrificing so that you are not dealing with your wants immediately. You're focusing on your needs, and then you can plan long term for those wants and desires.
Right, and also you want to teach your kids how to be able to say no, not right now, because of my yes for later on down the line. And that's something that we're practicing. We're getting ready to go on a cruise in April of next year. Whoop, whoop. Now, the cost, just imagine for the 8 of us, was quite high. But we have been making sacrifices throughout this year to be able to pay that off before February gets here, or before we leave on the cruise, because we have to pay it off in full. And that way we don't have to worry about any cash. We don't have to worry about just anything. It's all paid in full because we did the work. We did what we needed to do. We sacrificed now because we're looking at the long term, which is in April. We're going to be on a 7 nights and 8 days cruise, going out of the country, having a great time because of the sacrifices we were able to make throughout the year. So you want to teach your kids that. One of the things that I highly recommend that you do is find some type of financial class that you can get into, whether it is a Christian financial class, whether it's with Susie Orman, whether it's with Dave Ramsey. This was so helpful for us. It's called Crown, and it's Crown Financial Ministry, and we'll put this stuff on the blog so you guys can see exactly where you can get this information from. But this was extremely important. It helped us to understand about finances, who finances it is, and what we're actually supposed to do with it.
My husband already mentioned Dave Ramsey. He's great. He also talks about financial peace, financial freedom. Essentially, your goal is to be financially free, so that way the money that you receive after you've given back to God, you can further the kingdom. So financial freedom is definitely the goal that we're all trying to strive for. My husband also mentioned Susie Orman. This is a great book that you can consider reading. It's called The 9 Steps to Financial Freedom. And so Susie's also on TV as well as I think Dave is as well. So 2 great speakers.
On TV and the radio.
My husband mentioned getting connected with some type of class. We attended a conference, and it was called the Economic Empowerment Conference, and this was actually through our church back in 2011, Word of Faith Family Worship Cathedral. So anytime you encounter or come across something that deals with money or economics, I encourage you to invest in yourself and check into it. And then lastly, this book here was actually given to me as a gift. It's called Money Demons. Keep them from sabotaging your relationships and your life. I highly recommend this as well for anyone who may be struggling with money and not truly understanding why. So if you ask yourself, why is it that I can't save? Why is it that I feel stingy and I don't want to give? Or perhaps I'm just spending loosely. What is that? What's the root? So this book will help identify what those are. So thank you so much for tuning in to our money tips, and keep watching. We'll have more for you soon.
Absolutely. And make a budget, stick to your budget, and tell your money where it needs to go, not the other way around.
That's right. Thank you.
See you
Bye.
soon.